If you did this 20 times for the year, you're looking at a total change for your business of over $10,000.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Shay. I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari.
I am Tyler, part-time seller on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark.
In today's video, we are going to be digging into some numbers to give you the opportunity cost of taking a low offer versus holding out for that price that you really want to get for an item.
So I think this is the ugly secret behind Poshmark and reselling in general that people don't want to talk about is that what are you giving up by holding out for your price?
Yeah, so this is something that I still struggle with to this day. I am getting better at it, but it is something that I absolutely struggle with. So I think seeing a visual, seeing it kind of all there in writing in front of me is going to help me just as much as I hope it helps some of you guys. But before we get into it, you do have a t-shirt.
I do have a t-shirt. I'd be dangerous if I had a brain. Or if I had a brand, I'd be dangerous, rather. It's actually almost a vintage t-shirt that we picked up. Partially for me, partially to resell.
Yeah, it's from like
2003 or 4, something like that.
So real close. We're almost there. And it's a velvet applique. So,
yeah.
Anyways, okay, so we're going to get into it, but I think we might need a little bit more room for you guys to see the math. So should we move out of the way?
Let's go for the change in scenery. Ready?
Okay, so we are going to start with the tail of an item, I guess. And I'm going to start with the model that I kind of use for most of my business that I am trying to break myself of. So we're looking at spending $5 for an item, listing the item at $70, and then selling it for $50. Now this is ideally what I would love to see all the time. I'd like to see it sold at list price, but I am not going to get crazy with this whole thing. So if I did that, let's just say that that took me about 10 months to sell it for that $50 price point, right? So that means after fees, I'm going to be making about $40. So after the cost of the item, I receive $35. I can keep that money or I can turn around and purchase approximately 7 new items if your average cost of goods is about $5. So that's typically what I was doing for my business, looking to maximize that $5 off of the item I purchased with it. But there's a better way.
Well, I think that also you're going to be fighting that during that 10 months, you're going to be fighting people to stick to your price where you get lowball offers and all of that, and you just...
Are you adding an aggravation cost?
A little bit. All right, so moving away from the traditional wisdom of holding to your price, what happens if you either accept a lowball offer or you send out a 50% offer and it sells right away? If you take that quick flip money and you take that same $5 item, list it for $70, and then either send an offer for $35 or take a $35 offer. After the Posh fee, you're left with $28. If you subtract your original cost, you're at $23 total. Not as good as the $35 you're left with, but it's still okay.
Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. Okay, but that means that I took the $5 and I only turned it into $23, where the other time I turned it into $35. This isn't going to work for me. I can't do it. And I get it. Some of the items I'm not going to do it for either, because like a Chanel jacket, I'm not going to sell it for 50%. I'm not going to do that. However, for the majority of our items, wait and see how quickly this number changes. And remember, I'm on month 1 right now and the other item's on month 10. So bear with us.
So the next month, you take that $23 and you buy 4 new items at $5 cost. So you spend $20. You have $3 left over to pocket. Moving forward, say 2 months, and you sold half of those 4 items at a 50% sell-through. You're going to have sold 2 items. Say you only sold them for $20 a piece. You make $40, and the net after the Posh fee is $32. Now, I know this is kind of complicated, but bear with me. You have the $3 that you saved. So that with the $32 you take home in month 2, you're at the $35 that you would have made if you had held out.
Yeah, so 2 months in, I'm already break even for waiting the 10 months or, taking that lowball offer. But I've got more time. So am I going to make more money overall? Because I've got a lot more time. Yeah, so let's just see how this rolls out.
And we're going to put everything behind us so you can pause this video at any time. I know it's a lot. There's a lot of math. Bear with me. It's going to wind up being the biggest difference for your business of anything that you could possibly do. So you take that $32 and you buy 6 new items at $5 cost. You spend another $30. You sell 2 months later, you sell 50% of the items. So you sell 4 items at $20. You're making $64 net. And right there, you're already so ahead, and it's just going to start snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. Like it's going to. I don't want to bore you with all of the nitty gritty numbers, but suffice it to say, you go down to the month 10. You're going to have the ability to sell 33 of 67 items at $20 a piece. So you're going to be making 660 before the posh fee. After the posh fee, you're going to be making $528 month 10 versus making $35. That's an insane number.
Yeah, that is an insanely different number. Now, these numbers are going to be a little bit different depending on your business and depending on your costs. So keep in mind, if you want to try this for your business to see what number you're leaving on the table, there's a few things you want to do. You want to look at your average cost per item. For us, we used $5 because typically what we pay. You want to look at your average sale price. We used $20, which is actually a little bit low for us, but it's just an easy number to use. Ours is probably closer to around 30. And then you also want to look at your sell-through rate. I'm going to put a video up here showing you how to calculate that. We did that quite a while ago, so bear with the video quality. But it's really important that you do that. For us, our sell-through rate sits around 50%, so that's why we use that here. Yours may be higher, yours may be lower, but just do that when you're calculating yours. But it's so important because making $500 versus making $35 off of that one $5 spend is a huge difference and will make a huge difference in your business overall. It's so important.
And it's going to start to continue to snowball. It's going to, years and years and years, it's just going to keep building on itself. So we do have hypothetical numbers for what it would mean for your business. Before we get to that, we are going to take a quick break.
Okay, so we are going to get back to the numbers really soon, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to our first ever channel member, Galaxy Finds.
Yes, I can't say how surprising and happy it made us. It's all we've been talking about.
Yes. So if you guys don't know, we did open up channel memberships and we're going to be doing great things with it. But one of the things I want to do is shout out each and every one of you guys that have a platform you would like to share. And Galaxy Finds is one of our oldest reselling friends, and she is your go-to person for vintage. So if you are looking to get into vintage, if you don't know what to look for, if you're just kind of like trying to get your feet wet with it, absolutely check out her channel. I go to her every time I find a vintage item, asking her opinions, what she'd price it at, all of that type of stuff. I'm
still a little bit jaded by the fact that she made fun of me for passing up all those vintage dresses in that store that she also went to. Yeah,
she actually grabbed all of them, so good for her. But yeah, if you haven't checked her out already, please make sure you do. We are going to put a link up here for one of her videos, and of course, I will show her channel. So make sure you check her out, and thank you for being our first ever channel member.
We can't tell you how much it means to us. Thank you.
And let's get back to the numbers. Okay, so before the break, you prefaced that there was some kind of numbers that you could show us on what this looks like for our business as a whole.
Yes, so it's thousands and thousands of dollars. So if you were to do this method and take a lowball offer 2 times every month during the year, less than that even, if you did this 20 times for the year, you're looking at a total change for your business of over $10,000.
That's an insane amount of money. Okay, so that means that $5 that I put into this business, in the first method where we waited for the ultimate $50 price point, I had to wait 10 months for that. So that means I can only turn that around one time in the year, and I'm going to get 7 items out of it. So that's a very low ability to turn that over. But in the second model, that same $5, I turned around and ended up at the end of the year profiting almost, what was it again?
Over $10,000.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of money. At this point, it makes me think, why am I not doing this for every item that I possibly can? And again, I will say that not every item this is going to work for. If you've got a fancy Chanel jacket, get your price, okay? Do that. But for the most part, most of us source items that are bread and butter items, that are revolve items, that are items that are great and fun, but aren't that unique. So it's absolutely worth it to just move it out and get that money back into your business. You can just keep flipping and make more profit. Plus, it means more shopping. So, I mean, who's against that?
And these numbers will work and will prove out that taking the quick money is better regardless of the list price, regardless of what you sell it for. It'll change the numbers a little bit, but it'll be proportional in either case. You're so much better off taking the quick flip and moving things out than you are waiting on the item, which I think is hard to do for people, and we struggle with that ourselves, but this illustrates very clearly for us how much we have to work on.
All right, so
The dog.
that was a lot. Okay, so I think the numbers are showing that taking the low offer is absolutely worth it versus holding out for a price that you really want. It's definitely something that I'm still working on, but there are even more reasons why I think we should do that. So should we get into those now?
Yeah, let's go.
So on top of all of that math that Tyler just did, there are a few more things that you need to keep in mind when you do this. First of all, the algorithms. Now, none of us know how they work. None of us have the inside scoop, but I think we can all agree that sales beget sales. So I think it's really important to remember that when you're taking these lower offers, you are driving activity to your store, which means that you're going to be making more and more sales overall. Now, there's no formula we can do to show exactly what that's going to look like. It's going to be different for everyone, but I think it's really important to remember that it's going to help. Activity is so useful. So that is one thing that I think we all kind of forget.
I think there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, in our numbers, we just use an easy $20 average sale price for the new items. You could beat that. You can. That's the mystery of thrifting and sourcing new items. You never know what you're going to find. You could find a $150 item. You could find a Chanel jacket for $5. Like that happens.
Yeah.
So that just makes it all the better. If you are using that money to reinvest in your business, who knows what you're going to find?
Yeah, I mean, look at it this way. So if you held out for that item, you went to the thrift store one time to find that one item. But in our example, we went back to the thrift store, I believe it was
6 times or 7 times? A lot of times.
a lot of times. So we increased that chance of finding that really awesome, rare item again and again and again. So it's very unlikely that the numbers are going to stay as to what our formula shows. Actually, our numbers are pretty low. So keep in mind that thrifting is a chance, and each chance you give yourself to get that higher end item, more money is going to come from that. So the long and short of it is every opportunity is another chance to find a better item, and each time you do this, you are putting more money back into your pocket, even if you are taking a lower price on the front end. So I think looking at these numbers, looking at all the opportunities you're giving yourself, it just shows that taking that lower offer is worth it for your business overall, and you will make more money as a result.
I think it's also a way to guilt-free go back to the thrift store. Everyone likes to be able to say, yeah, it's already paid for, and I'm just using the extra free money.
That is true too.
So
I always need an excuse to go back out there. So when I can say that haul is paid off, so I mean, scot-free, right? But that is everything we have. I think that this is super important. I think it's really important that you guys each do this for your business and look at what opportunity you're leaving behind, because I definitely think it will shift your mindset and help you accelerate your business. So if you do that, leave us a comment below and let us know what money you're leaving on the table and how you're going to change to kind of get back that money in your pocket. But that is everything we have. We will be back really soon with a new video.
thank you all for watching.